Hey there, Coach Tim, Spider Cave Studios, Torrance, California. I wanted to give you day three of the 5 days of social media domination, which is, if you have not noticed, we've not talked about the advertising typical of social media nowadays, but of actually building up your own personal influence. If you do represent a business, a company, your company, it could be you are the personality, you are the Colonel Sanders behind the business. And so, therefore, it is about persona. Persona is personality, a cult of personality, a person with a charismatic personality. How do you get that out? Well, there's all kinds of courses in charisma that you can study. I will certainly say that it is going to require that you have something to say and you believe that what you have to say is important, and therefore it is worthy, and you are worthy of having the ability to say it and for your audience to listen to it. It's a lot easier when you're the ripe age of 56. I just turned 56 the other day. That you have a nice career of life decisions, life lessons, and business lessons that you can impart onto your audience that makes you interesting. Some people call it a skill stack. I have a very unique set of skills that a lot of people don't have. I have a skill set of being a successful football coach, but not a coach who has taken the typical path that coaches do, where it's a career. It's been a volunteer thing for me. It's been a sort of uh, a fishbowl of testing of ideas on what motivates people, what motivates crowds, and using psychological principles to do it, and then crossing that back over into the marketplace. Um, so, amongst other things, right? And so, everybody, if you've been in business for any amount of time, you have something to offer. Now, the other cool thing and why I decided years ago to start talking about the football thing and to use Coach Tim is because a lot of my clients started calling me Coach Tim, and a lot of people like that idea. And partly why they like it is they know I can't help myself when I want to help my clients. I want to help you do better. And so, whether it's a kid out on the field or one of my clients out here in the real world or anybody, I want to help. I want to do what I can to help. And so I'm going to open my big mouth and I'm going to say something. Hopefully, it's going to be helpful for who's there listening. And more often than it's not, it comes out pretty damn good, and it's pretty damn useful. And I've been on this interweb thing since the 90s. A lot of my competition was probably in diapers when I was first starting. So that makes me an older guy, but it also makes me a wise guy, a guy with a whole bunch of experience under his belt. And so persona is part of it, learning how to impart a personality into your social media, into your website, into your digital vibe, your digital vibration that you put out there. If you use this kind of idea, then you're able to get past a lot of the typical cliches and stereotypes. Because here's the thing, people want to judge you, and they're going to judge you. And they want to judge that they can get past what you're doing. So rule number one is develop a persona, is to write out what makes you different, what makes you special. Ask people. If people pay you compliments always about the same thing, then tie into that. That's something that a good amount of people connect to, and you need to develop and express more often. Um, if you've helped somebody in the real world, tell the story about it, right? We'll get into that more, but that has to do with your personality. And so if you do things in the real world, like I do, I volunteer football coach. Some people go to do things at church. I have a friend who feeds the homeless at a church. I think it's every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. If he wanted to put that out there, he can leverage that and talk about it. Talk about how somebody's life changed and he was involved in it, right? That's pretty cool. These are things that show your personality and show that you're not just somebody that can be judged as a commodity. Because the biggest thing you and I are both up against is that people want to judge us and people want to say we're the same. Oh, I know SEO. I had a guy that does SEO, right? Um, I got a guy that does my social media. I got a guy that, you're different. I'm different, right? So why are you different? Know how you're different. Develop your differences. And a lot of times you can do that through your persona, through your Colonel Sanders, right? Colonel Sanders said the white beard, you know what I'm talking about, Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? And he has a personality. He was real at one time, now he's not, but it doesn't matter. He has a personality that we all know, and it's kind of cute and it's kind of lovable, and somehow that equates to getting, greasy fried chicken or something. But um, we can do that through social media. And if you just look at what a lot of people are doing now, these influencers, first of all, I would say stay away from the influencers on like Instagram that are, unboxing, stuff and they're in bikinis, all that. And forget all that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who have a large audiences that people listen to. Gary Vee, great influencer. I hate the word because we want to think about Instagram girl models when we hear influencer, right? But Gary Vee, he has his Vaynerchuk Media, but really, I mean, I don't know this for certain. My guess is why he does, because he never mentions Vaynerchuk Media hardly ever. He's always in a lecture mode. He's always in pictures like this, right? He's really push it. Why does he do all these videos and stuff? My guess is probably so he can be the keynote speaker because he does have a tour, right? Find out what people's business models are. Find out what they're actually teaching. A lot of times, like Gary Vee, doesn't have anything to do with what he does. So, first of all, why am I listening to you about life advice when, you're supposed to be a media expert? Um, Weird, but that's how it works. So find what your thing is that you do real well that people want to listen to you about, that they want to hear about, and then express it and put it through a filter of maybe not being so direct because everybody wants to sell, 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 sell. Buy my shit. No, buy my idea so it helps enrich your life. Then people will come around. You won't even have to hard sell them. All right. So, like I said, like with Gary Vee, my guess is he's trying to get into more keynote speaking, which last I checked pays pretty well. And a lot of these guys are that way. I'm not saying all of them, but try to figure out what their shtick is. My shtick is I'm hoping you call me up for either consulting or to help with your social media, social SEO, especially your SEO, and to have a holistic 40 type of approach to your digital marketing. This is Coach Tim out. Work your persona.